All right, it is time to deal with some mixed martial arts. First of all, we got 2 weekends worth of fights coming up. This weekend and next weekend. And I want to deal with some of the fights on these cards. First, tomorrow, the main fight for me, of course, is the fight between Ariane Lipski. If it still happens, I'm a little premature with this. I made a promise to myself I'd stop talking about these fights before they happen because too many of them get called off. Hopefully, I don't jinx the fight. This weekend, Ariane Lipski is scheduled to fight Karine Silva. Karine Silva is a newer fighter that is looking very dangerous. She looks very dangerous. Ariane Lipski has been defeated more than once. We've seen fights where Lipski was just dominated. She's had her ups and downs. Karine Silva has not even really looked human. And right now, I feel like the only thing that needs to be done in order to put a stop to her buzz is to at least make her look human. You don't even have to defeat her. But since she's been in the UFC, she really hasn't been challenged. Now, speaking of the UFC, they have decided to promote Karine Silva by sharing her entire UFC career victories. It's all been by stoppage. Of course, we remember her most recent victory over Morrow's fighter that she had lost to previously before they joined the UFC. She had a difficult, she even seems more dangerous as a submission artist than Tatiana Suarez, if you ask me. She seems more likely to submit you, really, than anybody. And most of these submissions coming in the first round. So she's had 4 bouts in the UFC, right? If I'm not mistaken. She's won them all by stoppage. She put this girl out of commission. She could not continue fighting. You know, she had to take a break. She was carried out on a stretcher. Ketlin Souza. So Karine has built a reputation on top of the victories. There's some fighters who, they won their first few UFC bouts. But, they're not striking fear into their opponents. They're not doing it in a dominant, intimidating fashion. Karine Silva is. And this was one of the most impressive victories. The fight she had in the Contender Series. That girl, that Chinese girl that she fought, was built like a man. She had the body of a man and looks to have the power of a man. Look at her back. Insane power. And she even stopped her. So, Silva, from this seat, she looks dangerous. And again, the question is, can somebody just make her look human? I think Lipski can. I think Lipski can defeat anybody. If she hits you, and I think she's good enough to lay knuckles on anybody. Talking about Ariane Lipski. So I give Lipski a chance. Now I'm going to take Karine Silva in the fight. But I'm going to give Lipski a chance. These fighters need to take Karine Silva seriously. I know some of them do. And if they've watched her fight, I'm sure they do. But y'all better start psyching yourself up. That seems like the biggest challenge right now. Told y'all, when a fighter is undefeated and they're winning their fights in a dominant fashion and they haven't looked vulnerable yet, they develop a reputation of dominance that they all want. I don't care what no fighters say. They all got the same dream. They all want to enter the UFC, win all their fights in dominant fashion, take the title, and defend it as many times as possible, break records, all of that. That's what they want. Nobody wants their aura of invincibility shattered. Because when you develop an aura of invincibility or just a menacing aura where, your competition just looks at you as very dangerous, that reputation helps you win fights. In many cases. Many of your opponents are going to be shook before the fight starts. And what gives fighters like that an edge in a lot of cases is that it makes their fights easier. Because their opponents are already shook. They're already intimidated. They're already doubting their abilities against you. Nobody's showing your vulnerabilities. You don't have anything to base your training camp on for the most part. You can find little holes here and there, but nothing proven to work. So you're going into that fight uncertain with no clear blueprint. I'm telling you, when fighters lose or they have been exposed and made to look vulnerable, when they revealed a hole in their game, many of their competitors are licking their chops to get in there with them, especially if that fighter is undefeated. If you're undefeated and finally somebody pieces you up, everybody figure out you got some weakness, let's say it's boxing, that aura of invincibility is gone. Even if you're still undefeated, there's going to be fighters itching to get it in there with you now. And that's the problem with Karine Silva, the way I see it. She's shown good striking, power as a striker, knocked some of her opponents down, and just proven to be lethal on the ground. Now, I think Lipski's strong enough to take Silva down. Whether or not that's a smart thing to do, we don't know. Lipski's got some ground skill, and she's shown good physical power. We'll see if she can make Karine Silva look human. I think that's the first step. Maybe it'll involve an actual defeat. We will see. But these girls gonna have to do something about her and Natalia Silva and anybody else that's got this aura of invincibility. To an extent, Suarez is riding on a solid reputation. Even Kayla Harrison riding on a pretty strong, even after one fight. That's just how MMA is. Speaking of Kayla Harrison, I've given her career some thought. And I want to point out that I really hope she is successful at this division in the UFC because she is the last hope for that division. As of right now, she's the last hope. I mean, literally nobody is as interesting. Not even Pena. Ketlen Vieira has called her out. And people they're just not excited about no Ketlen Vieira. That whole division looks bad. You don't even have nobody just with solid potential. You don't even have a Karine Silva in this division. Natalia Silva in this division. You don't have a Manon Fior type in this division. You don't have an Erin Blanchfield type in this division. Shevchenko type. This is a horrible, horrible division. Kayla Harrison is the only hope. So, in order to revive this division, Kayla has to stay dominant. Can she do it? Well, I think the main thing she needs to focus on, and I think this is make or break for Kayla, is controlling her weight. I always thought that she was soft and sort of heavy and could make 135, and that's most likely the weight she should be at, 135. But, especially as an older fighter, when you go down to a weight you've never been before, you gotta maintain serious discipline. Just like Joanna did after she lost to Rose. If I'm not mistaken, going forward, she stayed at that weight, like very close to fight weight. Kayla, if you ask me, needs to maintain her weight as close to possible to 135 and never fluctuate. To me, she looks fleshy and soft here. My point is, I don't think she's killing herself to make 135. But if she continues to fluctuate, she's going to deteriorate a lot faster and get exposed sooner than later. But I don't think she's drained at this weight. I just think she's lean at the weight. Properly lean at 135. Sort of chubby at this weight. If she blows up and find herself having to lose all that weight over and over in her later years, she'll have a real short career in the UFC. So it's kind of a long shot to expect her to dominate. I think it's a long shot. But most definitely, at the higher weights, she was kind of chubby. And I'm saying she shouldn't have problems with the weight. I don't think so. She should be able to deal with this. Also, keep in mind, she got the same team behind her that Joanna had. And hopefully the same nutritionists. I'm sure they've been smart enough to understand that. Cannot be dealing with weight issues. So, yeah, it feels weird to be rooting for Kayla Harrison's success. However, my entertainment and the money, the value for my dollar is more important than anything else. I want entertainment. So, good luck and bring the division back. Bring it back. If Kayla just go through and start smoking these chicks She will revive that division. Amanda Nunes will come out of retirement. We will hear more statements from Ronda Rousey. You will not hear the end from Juliana Pena. But maybe she just destroys Pena. If she's dominant, she will revive 135. And I'm saying that I don't think any other fighter at that division, even if they were dominant, could revive the division like Kayla Harrison. Current champion, Rocky. I don't care if she win her next 10 fights. She's not going to revive that division. People not about to start checking for that division. For Pena. Okay. Kayla Harrison, the only one with intrigue. Only one interesting. She just got to make sure she won't lose again. And I just don't see that happening. Now, more people have expressed concern for your girl, Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Before we get to that, your girl, Tatiana Suarez, is talking big. Okay? 135 don't have a Tatiana Suarez. Okay? Undefeated. And she's doing a little bit of talking. She said, I think I'm going to be champ by this time next year. I don't even care if they have me fight Verna Jandiroba. I think that would be a great fight. To be honest, I wouldn't mind. I'm not one of those people who's like, I deserve things. I don't mind fighting Verna for that spot because she just came off a win. If anything, I should fight Verna. And then the winner should fight Wei Lee. If that's what they want to do, if they want to give me that title shot, I'm up for that too. I don't mind either way. All right. She's serious. And she's continuing to talk big. This ain't the first time that she said that she thinks she's going to become champion. And when she said it earlier, she said, I think I'm going to become champion and make a bunch of title defenses. So Suarez is doing that kind of talk, just like Kayla Harrison doing all that talk. And it's interesting. So, Tatiana, when you fight, I'm going to watch. Simple as that. Then Ketlin called out Kayla. She already objecting to Kayla getting a title shot after one fight in the division. Girl who just got here wants to have some privileges. Uh-oh. It can't be like that, you know? There are other people who deserve it. She just left an event running away from Larissa Pacheco and Chris Cyborg. She talks a lot and runs away. She wants the fights that are convenient for her. All right, Ketlin, not bad. Not bad lip service, girl. But I wouldn't be mad if they gave her a title shot. You know, Ketlin has lost. She's lost, man. She's looked vulnerable. She can't revive the division. So I'm sorry, Ketlin. You talk a good game, but I'm not about to object to Kayla getting a title shot. Division is desperate right now. Now, I think this can only help Lucindo. She already a natural. For her to be so young and be so comfortable in the cage and in battle when the bullets are flying, I think is scary. Talking about Lucindo. She is a natural fighter, man. She's going to be a problem. I think she's going to lump Karolina up. Now, Carolina might try to wrestle with Lucindo. She might try to ditch all that striking. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to that fight. Your girl, Tecia Torres, is set to fight Tabitha Ricci. And I suspect Tecia might lose that fight. That long layoff. And I'm going with Tabitha Ricci. I'm taking Ricci over Torres. I don't think Torres, her mind is in the game. Her mind is on being a mother. I'm sorry, I just don't trust that. It takes too much of your focus and dedication. I think you should wait till after your career is over. Be a mother. That way you give all of your energy to your child. You know, Tabitha, decent striking, mainly because of her footwork. We'll see if Tecia can make some noise. Tabitha Ricci might be something at 115. She hasn't lost at this weight. Like I said, she got real good legs. It improves. It makes her striking a lot better than it is. Her footwork. Real light on her feet. Two physical specimens. I'm taking Tabitha Ricci. Now, J.J. Aldridge is set to fight Veronica Hardy. That's interesting. Hardy likes to strike. Also very light on her feet. Real good movement. Yeah, I like that fight. We'll see what happens. I'm not gonna make a pick yet. Yeah, I'm gonna put my pick on hold. Now, Marnik Man, Ketlin Suits, I don't know. I'm not even gonna make a prediction, at least not right now. I'm gonna watch some of their fights. If I make a prediction, I'll come back and make it. Same with Ivana Petrovic and Na Liang. Who cares? I'm gonna definitely watch, but right now I have no idea who's gonna win that fight. But like I said, I'm primarily watching it for Lipski versus Souza. Now, Mayra Silva is gonna fight Macy Chiasson. All right. I like this fight. Things is heating up. But I don't think Silva can get any better. So at this point, it's all a case about whether or not her style is a good match for opponents. I think she should have been better prepared for Raquel Pennington. Okay, but Pennington has beaten both of these two. Respect Pennington. Okay, she's got a lot of victims on her resume. But I think anything can happen in this fight. And anybody can win. I think they're both flawed, shown holes. We'll see what happens. Both tough, though. Two tough fighters. That should be a pretty good fight. Taylor Santos, Jenna Bishop. Of course, I'm going to take Santos. Some of these fights, not that interesting. Andrea Lee, Montana De La Rosa, right? Probably take Andrea Lee. Probably win that fight. And that's your old boy. Ain't this the same chick? Ain't that her? That's her. All right. Y'all watch out for it. Man, would you want to put your fighter in against her? As it was, she was throwing Karine Silva around there in that fight. She showed a lot of power in that fight. That's a dangerous fighter. I better watch out for her. He said she built like a man. Okay. I believe those muscles, they're not just for show. They work and they got strength. Right? Shout out to everybody in the building. I had to touch on this weekend's worth fight. Also, they fight next weekend, poor Carolina. I think that's the only fight too, if not the only interesting fight. If Carolina wins that fight, I think that's going to be huge, and she might, definitely, especially if she can stop her. You better give Carolina a ranked fighter. Whoever wins should get a ranked fighter, if you ask me. As of right now, okay, and this is at 115. Fight at one. Hey, what am I talking about? Carolina's already ranked. Ranked number 13. So it's okay. Lucindo is she's the one getting a shot at a ranked fighter. Oh boy. Wow. Oh yeah, we'll see. We'll see. She's hungry, man. She's preparing for this fight by training with Amanda Nunes. So I think Nunes is behind her here. Wow, and who knows what they're doing in training. I like 115. Right? Possibility of Lucindo in the division. Jillian Robertson? Still watch her fight. Angela Hill, Ricci, Lupi, Pinero, nah. Yeah. It's just 135 that looks horrible. Just absolutely horrible. Something need to be done about that. So, Kayla, you better stay focused. Keep your weight down. Don't start eating crazy. And listen, I'm just being honest. I don't trust her. I don't trust Kayla Harrison. But fingers crossed, hopefully she can make some noise. See, or let me say, continue to make some noise. She's off to a good start. So going forward, man, discipline, discipline, discipline. Don't get too big-headed. Stay focused and disciplined. You got a tough task ahead of you. These girls in the UFC, don't let your head swell up too much just because you beat up old Holly Holm. We all knew she was on her way out anyways. Right? Shout out to everybody, and I'll see y'all on the next live stream.